Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful stories in all of philosophy, Plato's Allegory of the Cave. And we're going to use it to ask a huge question about the very nature of your reality. So, let me ask you something right off the bat. How can you be so sure that the world you experience every single day, everything you see, hear, and touch, is actually real? It's a massive question, and thousands of years ago, Plato gave us an incredible way to think about it. So to start, we're going to go where Plato takes us, deep inside a dark cave, a place that's really a metaphor for the limits of our own everyday experience. Plato asks us to imagine a group of people who've been prisoners their entire lives. I mean, since birth, they've been chained up, forced to stare at a blank wall. Now, behind them, there's a fire, and people are walking in front of that fire, holding up different objects. The prisoners can't see any of that, of course. All they've ever seen their entire lives are the shadows dancing on the wall. For them, those shadows aren't just shadows, they're reality itself. And this whole shadow world? Well, Plato has a name for it. He calls it the sensible world. It's the physical world all around us, the one we perceive with our senses. But, and this is the key, he argues it's basically an illusion, a lower level of reality that's always changing and frankly can't be trusted. It's all just appearances. You know, this whole idea might be ringing a bell. A world of illusion that we all mistake for reality. That's literally the plot of the movie The Matrix, right? Where everyone's living inside a simulation, completely unaware of the real world outside. It just goes to show how this ancient idea is still so powerful today. Okay, but what happens if one of these prisoners actually gets free from this world of shadows? Well, this is where the journey to real knowledge begins, and let me tell you, it is not easy. So, picture it. One of the prisoners is suddenly let go. He turns around, and for the very first time, he sees the fire. The light is agonizing for his eyes, which have only ever known darkness. He's totally confused. The real objects making the shadows, they somehow seem less real to him than the shadows he's known his whole life. And the journey does not get any easier from there. The way out of the cave is described as this steep, really tough climb. And when the prisoner finally makes it to the outside world, the sunlight is just overwhelming. It completely blinds him at first. This whole struggle isn't just physical. It's a metaphor for how difficult real education and finding truth can be. And this gets at such a crucial point. Real learning, genuine knowledge, it always starts with discomfort, questioning everything you thought you knew. It's confusing, it's disorienting, it can even be painful. Just like that prisoner's eyes adjusting to the light. True understanding always begins right at the edge of your comfort zone. So what we're seeing here is a perfect breakdown of the two different worlds in Plato's philosophy. On one hand, you've got the sensible world. That's the cave. It's all about shadows, illusions, and what our senses tell us. But outside, that's the intelligible world, a world of truth and permanence, a place you can only get to using your reason. All right, so once his eyes finally adjust to the light, what does this brand new sunlit reality actually look like? This is where we get to the absolute heart of Plato's entire philosophy. As his vision slowly starts to clear, he begins to see the world as it really is. He sees actual trees, real animals, the stars in the sky, the real things that were the source of those shadows he used to think were everything. He finally understands that what he saw in the cave was just a cheap copy. And this brings us to Plato's super famous idea, the theory of forms. The basic concept is this. For every single thing that exists in our physical world, like a chair or a tree, or even big ideas like justice or beauty, there is a perfect, eternal, and unchanging form of it in this higher, intelligible world. The things we see and touch every day, they're just flawed, temporary copies of these perfect forms. So, what's making all of this sight possible? It's the sun, of course. And in this story, the sun is a huge deal. It represents the highest, most important of all the forms, the form of the good. It's the ultimate source of reality, truth, and all knowledge. Kind of like how the sun lights up our world so we can see, the form of the good lights up the intelligible world so we can understand. I mean, Plato's own words from his book, The Republic, really nail it. He says the idea of the good is the cause of all that is correct and beautiful, the source of truth and reason. It is the ultimate goal, the final stop on the journey to true wisdom. So, there you have it. The journey is complete. The prisoner has seen the light. He's enlightened. But the story isn't over, not by a long shot, because with that knowledge comes a massive, heavy responsibility. So now he has a choice to make. Does he stay up there in the beautiful, sunlit world of truth? Or does he have a duty to go back down into the darkness? For Plato, it wasn't even a question. You have to go back. You have to try and free the others, even if you know they'll mock you and not believe a word you say. And this idea leads us straight into Plato's political philosophy. He basically argued that the only people truly fit to be in charge are the ones who've made it out of the cave, the philosophers. Only a person who has actually seen the form of the good, who really understands what true justice is, can lead a country wisely. This ideal ruler he called the philosopher king. He imagined this perfect society structured in 3 levels. At the very top, you've got the philosopher rulers, who govern using pure reason. Below them are the guardians, the soldiers who protect everyone using their spirit and courage. And at the bottom, you have the producers, the farmers and craftsmen, who take care of the state's everyday needs, guided by their appetites. But here's the really cool part. This whole structure for a perfect state, it's an exact mirror of how Plato saw the human soul. He believed our souls also have 3 parts: reason, which should be in the driver's seat; spirit, which is our courage and ambition; and appetite, which covers our basic desires. For Plato, a just and good person, just like a just and good state, is one where reason is in charge. So when you boil it all down, the allegory of the cave isn't just some ancient story. It's a challenge, really. It's a challenge to every one of us, to break free from the chains of our own assumptions, to push through the discomfort of questioning everything, and to always be striving for a deeper, truer understanding of the world. And that leaves us with one last question, and this one is for you. If you were the one who escaped, if you saw the sunlit world of truth, but you knew that everyone you left behind in the darkness would probably think you were crazy, would you have the courage to go back?